So hello everyone. Just at 6 p.m., 2 minutes, and we're gonna start the event. So dear attendees, thank you for joining us. 2 minutes and we're gonna start, inshallah. Okay, so we're gonna wait 2 more minutes just to give opportunities for people to join. Meanwhile, I want to thank Dr. Dima, Dr. Tantawi, and Dr. Atiya for joining us today during our event. Dr. Dima, she's gonna lead our event for today. Dr. Tantawi is gonna be our moderator, and it's an honor to have Dr. Atiya with us today and sharing his experience about Six Sigma and oncology pharmacy.
Hello, our beloved attendees. Thank you for joining us tonight in our new educational series, Six Sigma and Oncology Pharmacy. This presentation will be part 1 of the series. First of all, and before starting this event, allow me to grab this opportunity to thank a couple of people whom without their constant effort and support, we won't be gathering here tonight. Dr. Usama Tabbara, the mentor and the leader of IVPN network, thank you for your constant support and your leadership. Dr. Ahmed Abd Daim, who helped us and still do till this moment in delivering our educational events virtually. Our Oncology Let's Serve leader, Dr. Fatima Ismail, of course, and the IVP Oncology core team. I want to thank each one of you because without your determination, Oncology Let's Serve would not be blooming as it is now. Finally, our Oncology Let's Serve family, thank you for trusting us with your valuable time, and thank you for being here tonight and for interacting with us always. To whom is new for IVPN Oncology and is attending for the first time, welcome, first of all. And as a brief, IVP Oncology Listserv is designed to share with you basics and updated evidence-based knowledge in the oncology pharmacy practice. Here at this platform, we are dedicated to provide to our audience the place where they can discuss the latest topics shared by the best experts in the field. So I encourage you to submit your questions with your name and your current job title in the Q&A box through this presentation to allow our top-notch speaker, Dr. Muhammad Atiyah, to share his experience with you. With no further delay, let me introduce our moderator for this evening, Dr. Muhammad Al-Tantawi. Dr. Muhammad graduated from 6 October University in Egypt in 2007 and got his diploma in clinical pharmacy in 2009 from Mansoura University. He was trained as a clinical pharmacist in Scotland in 2013. Dr. Tantawi is board certified pharmacist in critical care since 2018 and took his certificate in healthcare quality soon after that. He is in the process of getting his Canadian pharmacy board. His career journey is fruitful with experiences starting as a pharmacist in community pharmacy in Egypt and gradually scaled up to be in the management team. After that, he started his clinical journey as an oncology clinical pharmacist in Children's Cancer Hospital 57357 in Egypt. Dr. Muhammad then joined the National Guard Hospital in Medina in Saudi Arabia in 2015, where he established the chemotherapy pharmacy services and training after getting the ASHP certified in compounding sterile preparation for a pharmacist. He is also a co-editor, co-team member and organizing team member in IVPN Oncology. First of all, let me thank him for being here tonight. It's an honor, Dr. Muhammad, and I will leave the floor for him to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Dima, for your kind words, and of course, thank Dr. Fatima, our oncology leader, for Oncology Listserv leadership. I would thank Dr. Osama Tabbara, of course, our mentor and IVPN network leader for this opportunity. And of course, to thank our Oncology Listserv team core team and organizing team members, Dr. Anfal and Dr. Dima. I would like to welcome our fellow attendees and thank them for their time to attend this beneficial webinar about Six Sigma in oncology. I would like to introduce our speaker, Dr. Muhammad Atiyah. He was my colleague in 57357 Cancer Hospital for Children, and his topic will be about Six Sigma in oncology pharmacy, what and why. Dr. Muhammad Atiyah is Improvement Project Manager in Pharmacy of Children's Cancer Hospital 57357 and Certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt from American Society of Quality, ASQ. He worked as a trainer for Six Sigma in different organizations like American Supplier Institute, ASI Egypt, Brooklyn Business School, and Children's Cancer Hospital. He received his PharmD degree from Tanta University since 2017 and MBA from Arab Academy for Science and Technology, AAST, since 2019. Today, Dr. Atiyah will speak about Six Sigma in oncology pharmacy, what and why. So without any further delay, let us welcome Dr. Atiyah and leave the platform for him, and any questions will be at the end of the lecture after the poll question. Thank you, Dr. Atiyah. The platform is yours.
Thank you, Muhammad, for this introduction, and thank you, Dima and Dr. Fatma, and thank you for IVPN network for this chance to be with you today to talk about Six Sigma. Let me share my presentations. Okay, I hope my screen now is shared with you.
Yes, Dr. Atiyah, can go on. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Today we will talk about Lean Six Sigma in oncology pharmacy. Actually, I know we are talking in oncology list, and a lot of our attendees is interested about oncology and how we are dealing with the cancer and the medications and protocols of the treatment of the oncology. But in our series and our event today, I will take you in another side of the management of the oncology pharmacy. Actually, we are talking about something or how we can efficiently use the tools to improve our service in oncology pharmacy. Objectives of these sessions to define what is the Lean Six Sigma and what is the Six Sigma actually, and how we can know the objectives of the Lean Six Sigma, and what is its importance of the Six Sigma in healthcare, and how can implement the methodology of Six Sigma in our oncology pharmacy or services. As Muhammad introduced me, and I will didn't take another time in introducing myself, but now my honors that I work as improvement project manager in Children's Cancer Hospital, and actually this is for 15 years from 2007, and now I'm the founder for growthup.ctc.link, and this is a website that is interested about Lean Six Sigma, and we talk in it about with more details about Six Sigma. So our agenda today, we are talking about some examples of implementing Six Sigma in healthcare and oncology pharmacy, and the objective of Lean Six Sigma, and what is the importance of the what is the improvement actually, and how we can do that with Six Sigma, and why we can implement Six Sigma in our working. And what is the Lean manufacturers, and what's the difference between Lean and the Six Sigma, and how we making merge between Lean and Six Sigma, and how to implement Lean Six Sigma in our services. In our examples, we'll see that the implementation of the Six Sigma, actually it is starting in the manufacturing, but in 2000, starting the implementation of Six Sigma in the healthcare. And in this study, you can see that the implementation of risk management and the cost reduction of the cancer drugs using Lean Six Sigma tools, and this has happened in the Italian hospital. In this hospital, there was some problems that they facing it. They have 8 of total 45 nurses and physicians were injured during the preparation of the antineoplastics medications. And also there was a contamination in the drug during the preparation of the medications. And also they have another problem that they have 5 different departments that prepare the antineoplastics, and this take a lot of times from from the hospitals, and also the nurse have walk a long distance from the pharmacy to department to can deliver the medications or the drugs to the patients. And also there is a problem about creating inventories, because when you are making inventory for each department in 5 different departments, this take as late time, that is the time from the starting of the process, from requesting the medication till deliver the medications or the inventory to the departments. Actually, it was take 5 days from these hospitals. And also when they calculate the cost of the drugs that is stored in the 5 departments, they found that the cost of this medication actually 800,000 euro, and this is a very big cost for the hospital. So they try to make up improvement projects that have objectives to be more safe for the patient and more safe for the physician and nurse, because reducing injury and reduce the infections or contamination of the preparation drugs. And also they need to reduce the cost of the medications that is made the medications as inventory or as the process for the preparation itself. In this slides, you can see some tools called FIMIA that is used in Six Sigma. And in the FIMIA, we are determines the process and the risk of each step in the process and how this is happening or the cause, like we see. And also we determine the risk of these problems. And with this tool, we are determine which problems that we are need to improve to determine our goals, or we can reach our goals from this projects. And also, this is another tools that are that they used in this project, and this is called value stream mapping. In the value stream mapping, we are determine all the steps of the process, and we make a map for each step and determine the time for each step in the process, and also any materials or any stuff you working in the process it is explained in the map, this map, so we can see all information about our process and the way that we can work to determine where the waste of the time or the cost, and work in these steps to improve our process. So this is some examples of the tools that is used in this this paper or this project, and also there is another improvement tools that can be used in Six Sigma, like fishbone diagram. In the fishbone diagram, it is illustrated tools that is used to determine which what is the causes of the main problem. In this paper, they make the fishbone for the problem that inventory levels is effective. As we say in the problems, there was have a problem in the inventory because there was a lot of inventory cost for this hospital. And as you see, there is 4 main category for these reasons as methods, and the machine, and the men and materials. And in each main category, we are starting to put the reasons that under this main categories. And from this diagram, it is illustrates for all the staff or all the team members in the Six Sigma the reasons for this problem. And we can through this diagram determine which the main problem that can cause the problem of the inventory. So we can determine where we can work to improve our process and gain our objectives. So after the team of in this hospital use these tools and study the main cause or the root cause for their problems, they start to put the solutions for these problems. And the solutions, actually, it is customized according to the situations of the hospital and situation of the problem that the team is working on it. So in this project, the team starts the solution for number 1, centralized unit of the preparation of the medication. So instead of preparing the medication in 5 different departments, they start to centralize the unit of the preparation of the medications. Second solution was using new software to request the departments, request from the department and implement to avoid the excess needs for the medications, and using barcode system to track the medications that is prepared and reduce the error of the preparing of the medications, and so they can reduce the returns and medication errors for their patients. After they implement these solutions, they start to measure the outcome of this projects. They found that after 6 months from the centralization of the preparation, they reduce the risk of staff injury and reduce the risk of the drug contaminations. Like we see in the FEMIA in the last in the first slides that present the FEMIA tools, there was the preparation, and in the preparation the risk was contaminations. Like we see in the slides, the risk of the contamination is reduced because the time of opportunity here after the implementation of the solution and centralize the preparation of the medications and train the staff, the opportunity of the risk of the contamination reduced, and so the risk of this problem is reduced. So they can implement or reduce the improve the outcome of the projects. And also there was outcome for due to 2 activities have been eliminated from this from the old process. The first one was the transportation of the drug to the department, because we are centralized the preparation of the medication and the storage of the drug in the departments. And the third outcome was the second target of reducing the inventory cost. And this in this process, they achieved number 1, reduce the waste, because when you are when they found check the stock after the implementation of the solution, the stock reduced from 800,000 to 200,000. So they was reducing 75% from the cost of the inventory, and so the hospital can use this money to improve other services for their patients. And there is another example for using Six Sigma to apply it to reduce the patient waiting time in the cancer pharmacy. So in the first example, we see using Six Sigma to reduce the workload by centralize the preparation, reducing the cost of the inventory, and improving the safety of the patient and the safety for the staff. In this example, we see how using Six Sigma to reduce the waiting time for our patient in the cancer pharmacy. We know that our patient in the pharmacy suffering from the waiting time, because in the pharmacy we didn't only dispense the medication. We make a lot of steps, from reviewing the orders and reviewing protocols for the patients and reviewing drug interactions, and check the medications that is prepared for the patients, and then make patient educations. So this take a lot of time, and when takes this a lot of time, there is other patients with waiting for a long time. So we can use Six Sigma to reducing this waiting time. And actually, this is a study done in Jordan in outpatient pharmacy that is serve approximately 33,000 patients each year. And they, after implementing the Six Sigma methodology, they can reduce the waiting time of for the patient by 50%, from 58 minutes to 35 minutes. And in another example, we are reducing medication error in the hospital. So this is another objectives for Lean Six Sigma projects that can we make for in our services to implement a project for Six Sigma to reduce medication errors. And in this project, there was dispensing error was reduced over 30%, and the percentage of order entry error consistently improved by 90%. And this was a very big issue for all of us in all our hospitals. The order entry for the medications and the medication error is a main issue for our staff, and the main corner for our patient, because if you are making any medication errors for our patient, they will suffering from a lot of side effects, a lot of reducing the efficacy if this medication errors due to reducing the dose or increasing their doses. So in this study, they can reduce these errors by 30%. And also, they can reduce the error in those selections by 30% and wrong distribution by 49%. And one of our big issue, the look-alike and sound-alike errors, it is reduced by 69%, and the error in patient name by 46%. Okay, in these slides, we are see that the implementation of Six Sigma, it is done in a lot of papers and a lot of hospitals. So these examples, not only the hospitals that they can implement or implement Six Sigma, but actually we have we have actually more than 700 papers in implementation of Six Sigma in healthcare. So in these examples, we illustrate how we can use Six Sigma, or is there hospitals that implement actually Six Sigma in project or not. So let's talk about what is the objectives of our Lean Six Sigma. When we are thinking in implementation of project for Six Sigma, we can put objectives for reducing the error and defects in our process. And as we talk, the reducing medication errors was a very important issue for our services in oncology pharmacy. And also we can work to patient and employee satisfactions. The improving our services and make it easy, it will be satisfied our employees, and also satisfy our patients when give them as great service for in our hospitals. And also we can improve the product or the service improvement, and we can also reducing the waiting time or the time of the process, reducing the time of the process that we are served for the patients. And actually we can reduce the discharge process time for our inpatients, or reducing the cost for the medications or the total cost for our patients' hospitals. And last is increase our market share growth by improving the services, by reducing time of the patient in the hospital, so we can increase the number of the patients that we are serving in our hospitals. And what is the improvement? When we are thinking about the improvement, actually improvement is the process of making something better. When this is the dictionary meaning for the improvement. So anything you are doing to improve the process or make it better, it is actually improvement for your process and make a projects. Actually, another quote is, it is not the way, the load that break you down, it is the way you are carry it. Actually, the problem of any process, it is the way that we are working with it. So, and another way, when you are thinking to change the process, or when you are needing to change your outcome, actually you should change your inputs, or you change your way, the way that you are working in to improve or to change your outcomes. And like where you are seeing, this is the way this photo, you can see we are carrying the same box, but actually the way of carrying this box, it was the problem. If you are carrying it with the right way, you will carry it easily and without any injury for you. But if you are carrying it with wrong way, it will be painful for the person or for the employee that working on it. So the problem can be as a big stone for our employees, that they can moving it, or you can using it as opportunity for improvement and working together as a team to find the solution to improve this opportunity, or using this opportunity to improve our services. So what is Six Sigma? Before we talk about what is Six Sigma, let me give you examples for improvement and what is improvement. Actually, when you are talking about improvement, we are talking about any change. So maybe it is very small change, but when you are thinking in large scale, it will give large impact for our process. We starting actually in our hospital to prepare the medications, and in the IV room. And when we starting the preparation or in our hospital, actually we didn't have a system or a computer system in our hospital. Now we are using actually Cerner, but this start in 2009. And when the hospital starts our preparing starts the service, it was 2007. So we are working two years without electronic system in our IV rooms. So we are starting to prepare the medications and write the labels manually for all the doses that were prepared. And you can think about preparing something like, for example, calcium leucovorin, which was those Q6 medications. So we are preparing 4 doses for each day. And when you are prepared for 100 patients, so you are talking about 400 medications, 400 doses, that you are writing 400 labels for each patient. 400 labels for the medication like calcium leucovorin. And when we are thinking in a small or a solution for this issue, we are starting by a small change that we are using carbon papers. So when we are write one copy, we can write another 3 or 4 copies for the same patient. So we are write one label manually, and with the carbon we are have another 3 labels, and in this process, in this small solutions or easy solutions, we are actually saving for 60 to 70% from our time for writing labels manually. And after that, we are starting another solution that we are using as Excel sheets to write the labels on the computers and print it daily for the patients, and we are saving another time. So it was small solutions and easy solutions without any efforts or a big budget to make a big system, but save a lot of times. So when we are talking about improvement, it can be small change in the process, but give a big impact or efforts for your process. So let's talk about what is Six Sigma. Actually, Six Sigma have different types of identifications or meaning for Six Sigma. When we are talking about Six Sigma as a philosophy, Six Sigma talk about the process as inputs and outputs. Any process or any service we are working on it, there is inputs that is used to give you the output or outcome that you are need for your patient, or the outcome is that you are need from your process. So the philosophy of Six Sigma, it is by easily, when you are control your input, you are improve your output. So Y for inputs, Y for output is equal function X. So any modifications in the X, any modification in inputs we're causing a modifications in your outcome. So in the Six Sigma, we are working to reduce the variations in our inputs and the process steps to control outputs. And Six Sigma as a metric, when you are talking about your Six Sigma quality process, this is mean that there is only 3.4 opportunity of errors, 3.4 errors for per million opportunity, that or defect per million opportunity. This is mean that in each million opportunity of errors, only there is 3.4 errors only in your process. So if you are preparing 1 million doses, you have only 3.4 doses error in your process, and this is as or easy example. Actually, this is working in like our the photo in the slide. Each process have lower specification limits and upper specifications limits, and when you are controlling your inputs, you work to make your outputs controlled in the mean of this lower and upper specification limits, and reducing the boundaries from this lower and upper specification limits, and control your process and reduce the errors in your process. So what is the Lean Six Sigma as a methodology? So we are talking about Six Sigma as a philosophy, like inputs and outputs. And when you are controlling your inputs or modifying anything in your inputs, this is impact or have impact in the outputs. And talk about Six Sigma as a quality metrics. And this is means 3.4 defect per million opportunity of errors. And the main thing is in Six Sigma is the methodology of the Six Sigma. So, Six Sigma has clear methodology that is have in 5 steps or 5 modules that is summarized in DMAC. D for define. In the define, or the first step in the methodology of Six Sigma, we are working in defining the problem. And actually, this is very important step for any improvement project. When you are trying to make improvement as a team, the first thing you should clarify and define the problems that you are working on it, and all the team have the same definition for this problem. Because when you are thinking about the problem, a lot of us think that all of us understand the problem by the same way. But actually, when we in some example, in one of our projects, we were working with the team for improving the waiting time in the daycare units. And when we are making the team we are make the team with physicians and the nurse and the pharmacy. And when we are starting to talk about our process and our steps that we are working on it, we discover that our team from the nurse and from the physician didn't understanding actually the steps that is done in the pharmacy to prepare the medication. And when we are write these steps, they understand why we are take a lot of time to prepare the medication for our patients. So when we are working with the team, we should giving a time for define the problems that we are need to work in it. And then we are determining the team, or define the team that is should work in this improvement project, because the team, it is the main core for the improvement project. In Six Sigma, one of the very advantage from the Six Sigma, it is the team formulation. Actually, in the team formulation in the Six Sigma should have top management support. You have members from the process owners that is working actually in the process, so they can give you examples and give you their inputs for the reasons for the problem and the solutions that can implemented for this process. And also in the team, you can have members from supporting department like IT, like HR, for facilitating the solutions that is need to work in it. After formulating the team, there is another tool that is used in Six Sigma in this step, or defined step. It is called SciBook. And SciBook, it is 5 letters. This is symbols for S. Let's talk about as we talk about in the philosophy and Six Sigma. Six Sigma working with the process as inputs and outputs. So the letter I, it is for inputs for any process, and the letter B, it is the process itself, the steps of the process itself, and O, it is the outcome of this process. So, and what is about the S and C? The S, it is the suppliers for the inputs. So the suppliers in the inputs, it is very important to be determined in this step, because if you need to control your inputs, you should know who the suppliers. The suppliers, he give you your inputs, so you can control the suppliers and control your inputs. And the C, it is the customers who will use your outputs in and determine the requirements from your process. So you should determine the suppliers for your inputs, and you should determine your customers that will use your outputs. So When you are determining the customer, you can determine your customer needs. And this is another important point for Six Sigma. It is when you are making any change or any modifications or any improvement, you should know how this will impact your customer needs and your suppliers to make the when you are making any change in your process, you should be sure that the impact of this change didn't affect any process or any other process in your organizations and didn't make problems for your suppliers or problem for your customers. So in the first step, you determine the problem, determine the teams that will work in this problem, determines the suppliers, inputs, main process, the outcome, and the customer needs for your process. After that, in the second step, you are starting to measure. In the step measure, you determine the natural and the extent of the current problem. Actually, and this is another very important step in Six Sigma. When you are measuring your process, well, a lot of us thinking that they are know the problem and starting directly to find the solution for our problem and making this solution. But it is very important to measure the current situations. Actually, what is the current problem and what is the volume of this problem and what is the impact of this problem? To can, after making the change and after making the solution, you can determine what is actually the impact of this solution. So you should measure the current situations and the current problem and the volume or the data, collecting the data for measuring your process and your steps. After this step, you start to analyze. You start to analyze this data using a lot of tools in Six Sigma to find the main cause for this problem. And actually, also the very important advantage for Six Sigma is using statistical tools to analyze the data. And actually, this is besides the normal tools, like as we say, talk about the fishbones and the brainstorming tools. We use actually starting statistical analysis for our data to determine the main causes that cause the big issue or the big part from the main problems, so we can change these main causes and give us a big outcome from our projects. After analyze our data and determine the main cause of the problem, we start to fix this problem. We start to find the solutions that can fix this problem and give us our outcome. We starting to put a lot of solutions, and with using Six Sigma tools, we determine which the solutions that can give the best outcome. And also this is using statistical tools and tools for Six Sigma to determine the impact and the cost of each solution and determine which one we can use for it. And then in this step, we are starting to test this solutions to be sure that we can gain or we can achieve our outcome for the projects. And after find the best solution that can achieving our project, our outcome from the project, we starting the last step in our project is the control. in the step of the control, it is very important step, because after we are implementing the solutions, if we are didn't train our staff, didn't find the way that we can control these solutions or monitoring these solutions and monitoring the outcome of the project, actually that this change will back for the problem again. So in this step, in the control step, we start to putting the plan for monitoring our outcome and monitoring the process, and be sure that there is no any back for the problem, and for any sign for starting to back for our problem, we put a plan for how to stop this backing for the problem, and monitoring the our process by using something like KPIs or charts that give us the signs for the outcome of our process. By these 5 steps, we are finishing our projects, and we are starting again. We can start again in the same process to determine another outcome. And actually in Six Sigma, it's working as a continuous improvement. So you can start again to define your problems and put a new outcome or a new goal for your new project in the same process or another process. So in Six Sigma methodology, we have 5 steps. It is define, and in this step, we are defining the problem, the teams that working in the problem, and the main process, and the suppliers, and the customer needs. In the second step, it is the measure, where we are starting to measure the current situations and the current problem, and collecting the data for it. And then in the analyze phase, we are starting to find what is the main causes for our problems. And in the improve step, or the improve phase, we start to find the solutions that can fix our problems and test this solution. And in the last step, the control, we start to look in the solutions and train our staff in the solutions, and both the KPIs and the way for monitoring our process. So why Six Sigma is working? Actually, as we are saying about Six Sigma, the Six Sigma is when you are talking about Six Sigma, we put a bottom line results for our projects, like net income or the profit. And when you are putting goals that talk about net income and the profit, it is easy to buy your projects or modifications for the top management, and take the support from the top management to implement these projects. Also, there is very important issue point that in Six Sigma, it is interested by senior management and frontline staff are involved in the team. So when you are making any change, this easily can be controlled and easily can be implemented, because actually the frontline staff sharing in this solution and sharing in putting this change to the actions. Another thing is Six Sigma has clear approach or disciplined approach that we are talking in the last slide about DMAC. And also there is short project completion time. Actually, the 5 steps or phases we are talking about Six Sigma methodology, it is done from 3 to 6 months. So it is easily to see the impact of your project in after short time, and this can be easily buy-in for our staff and for the top management. And also Six Sigma put the clear definition for the measures of the success, because when you are put goals for our project, we put SMART goals, and actually we measure the current situations, and we measure the situation after implementing a solution. So it is easy to say that there was actually the waiting time was 1.5 hours before the project, and now it is for 45 minutes. So there is 50% reduction in the waiting time. So you can measure easily the success in the projects. Also, we have infrastructure trained individuals for working in the Six Sigma projects, as we talked in the next slides. And also the very important thing in the Six Sigma is using a statistical approach in analysis data, and in choosing the main causes, and measuring the success of the projects. Okay, this is the Six Sigma, and this is as we talk about Six Sigma, it is working to the main issue for Six Sigma is controlling the process by reducing a variation in the process. But in lean manufacture, lean talk about reducing or identifying and eliminating waste, and they are talking about waste as non-value added activity. So in the lean, we are talking about reducing the waste or eliminating the waste, and any non-value added activity is a waste for the process. And what is the meaning of non-value added? Non-value added is any activity or the step that is not required for direct achievement of the process outcome. So any step or any activity we are working or doing it in our process, but didn't give direct impact about the outcome, it is for us as non-value added, because if you didn't do it, there is no impact about our outcome, and this activity should be eliminated, simplified, or reduced. Why we can't say we only eliminate it? Because there is some activities that should be done to be sure the quality, for example, the quality of the outcome. So if you didn't do it, actually you will find the outcome, but you didn't be sure the quality of the outcome. So there is steps that can be eliminated or can be reduced. So if the process is important, or this activity is important for the process, so we are working to reduce it. If this process actually not important for the outcome and didn't affect the outcome or the quality of the outcome, you should eliminate this step directly. So, and what is the type of the waste that is working to reduce or eliminate in our process? In our process, there are 8 types of the waste. It is collected in word downtime. D for defects. Actually, defects or the errors, it is a waste for sure. And overproduction. If we are preparing the dose, for example, we are working in the IV room and preparing the medications. If you are preparing a dose for 3 days, and actually your patient need only 1 dose per day, this will be overproduction for your medications, and actually it will be waste for your organizations. Waiting time. Is waiting time in queue or in the process. So if you in between each step, there is a waiting time, and there is a waiting time for the customer. The 2 issues is a waste, and we can working to reduce it. And N, it is non-value adding processes or steps in the process that is not, as we talk about, any step that is not impact outcome, it is non-value adding processes. Actually, also it is T for transportations. So if you are transport the product or your outcome from point A to point B, this is a transportation, and you should working to reduce the time of the transportation and the cost of the transportations. And I, it is where for inventory, like the first example in the hospital that were having actually inventory with 800,000 euro, and this is a very big cost for the hospital. So if you can reduce your inventory, you will save your money to be used in another services. And also the motion. M for motion, it is talking about the movement of the product or the movement of the employee who are working in the process. And E for employee or for the skills. When you are using a staff that is skilled in some issues and didn't use their skills, this was a waste. For example, when you are using a doctor for transport the requesting from the main pharmacy, from the floor to the main pharmacy. This is using a skilled person in non-skilled task, or using a secretary to writing a paper or writing reports. Actually, this is an unskilled person used in skilled steps that should be done by the physician. So the using employee can be a waste that can be reduced in our process. After that, there was the integration done between Lean and Six Sigma to improve our process. So in Lean and Six Sigma have the same general purpose in providing customer with the best possible quality and cost and delivery. In Lean, we are focusing in reducing waste, but in the Six Sigma, we are focusing to reduce variation in the process. In the Lean, we are achieving its goal by using technical tools, but in Six Sigma, we are using statistical data analysis and design of experiments and hypothesis tests. So when we are integrating the Lean with the Six Sigma, we can making improvement project that is concentrated in reducing the waste and reducing variation and using technical and statistical tools. So when we are starting to implementation improvement project, we are starting to reduce the waste with Lean approach. And after that, if the process or the problem remaining in our process, we can use Six Sigma as a statistical tool to be applied to more improvement for our process. And the last thing we are talking today about how to implement Lean Six Sigma in our services in the hospitals or in the pharmacy. What we need to do to implement our the Six Sigma methodologies in our hospitals. The first thing, we need to create a burning platform. We need to create the issue of the Six Sigma, and we have the way to collecting data. We have a platform for working on or making workflow for our process and can be monitoring our process. Then we need to put resources in the place. We can we should determine what is our needs to be to implement the Six Sigma and how we can use our resources to make our needs available for implementing the Six Sigma. Then we need to teaching the methodology. We need to make a training for our staff with different levels about the Six Sigma methodology. Then we need to prioritize our activities. All of us, when we talking about the challenge in our work or the needs for modification, there is a lot of issues that need to be modified or can be improved. But when you are working in Six Sigma, we teaching how we can prioritize our projects and how we can choose the first one or the first projects that we can work on it. In step 5, we need to establish the ownership. We should buy in the idea of the Six Sigma and the idea of improvement or the need for the change to our staff, to the top management, and take the ownership for implementing Six Sigma. Because when you are working to implement Six Sigma in your organization, actually it is not a project that we were implemented in 3 or 6 months and go on with normal work. No, we are talking about the culture of a change and the culture for improving or continuous improvement for our process. So in step 6, we govern the program. We start to put the programs, who is the leader of the programs, who is the champions for the programs, who is the leaders for the programs, and who is the team members that can work in implementation of the Six Sigma. Then take the right measurements. You should starting to collect the data. We starting to determine which measurements that can be used to determine the projects, determine the problems, and determine the outcome of the project. In the last step, we need to recognize the contributions. Actually, you should recognize your teams that work in the implementation to support them and to encourage a lot another staff to share in another team and in the next projects. So you should recognize the contributions of your teams, your employees in the implementation of the Six Sigma, and start to restarting new projects and make it as continuous improvement projects in your organizations. So what is the levels of the Six Sigma? As we talk in our steps, we talk about training our staff, and we are saying that Six Sigma have clear training approaches for the Six Sigma methodologies with different levels. Actually, Six Sigma, it is have different level. The first one, it is white belt training, and in the white belt training, actually it is an introduction for the Six Sigma. And in this training, we talk about Six Sigma as a philosophy and as an idea for a change or the needs for continuous improvement. And this training, will be useful to be given for all the staff on the organization to be understanding what is the Six Sigma and what is the outcome that we are needing from the Six Sigma. The next step from the training, it is yellow belt. In the yellow belt training for Six Sigma, the trainee participate in taking the main idea for Six Sigma, taking some tools that is used in the project of the Six Sigma, and taking the 5 main steps or main phases for the Six Sigma methodology. So who are taking the yellow belt training can be participate in the project as a team member and can be working in collecting data and reviewing the process improvements. After that, there is a green belt training. In the green belt training, we take more information and more data about the Six Sigma methodology and the statistical tools that can be used in Six Sigma for small projects, so they can lead the small projects or be members in a big projects for the Six Sigma under the leading of the black belt Six Sigma certified, who is taking advanced training about the Six Sigma and about the statistical tools that is used to making problem solving projects, and also can be can make a training for the green belt and yellow belt and white belt for our employees. So in the green belt training, it is given for the frontline staff that can be that can share in the project, but they still working in the their main work, like the pharmacy, like physicians, like the nurse, working in their areas and start to join the project. But for the black belt training, it is actually working as a team leaders, and his work, the main work is leading the projects and training the staff for the Six Sigma. And the last one, it is the master black belt, who is he is working as a trainer for black belt and green belt, and can coach the black belt for projects, and can supervise the green belt during implementation their projects and give them support and share in putting the strategy for the hospital or for the organization. So in the Six Sigma training, we have white belt as introduction, yellow belt for the main education levels, and for green belts that can be lead small project for Six Sigma, and black belt training, who is working as a team leaders for project and can coaching for green belt and yellow belt. And we have master black belt, he is can coaching and training all the levels on black belt and green belt and yellow belt, and working as coaching for the projects and putting the strategy for the organizations. As with the slides, we are finishing our first part. I hope I can giving you idea about the Six Sigma and how we can using it in implementation projects for Six Sigma or a project for improvement our services in oncology pharmacy, like reducing medication errors, like reducing waiting time for our patients, like reducing the cost in preparation dose in IV rooms or in dispensing area. And I hope you find it useful. Let us check the questions.
Thank you, Dr. Atay, for your presentation. Wallah, it was really powerful. Now we'll have the poll questions for 2 minutes. Then we'll discuss the questions in the questions and answers. So the first question, 5 stages of Six Sigma methodology are: define, manage, analyze, improve, and control. Define, manage, apply, improve, and control. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Define, measure, apply, improve, and control. The second one is Six Sigma as a philosophy work to reduce cost, variation, quality, all of the above. The third one, in lean manufacturing, non-value added defined as any activity or step that is required for the direct achievement of the process output, any activity or step that is not required for the direct achievement of the process input, any activity or step that is required for the direct achievement of the process input, any activity or step that is not required for the direct achievement of the process output. The first one, in Six Sigma levels, the level that can lead the team is or are green belt, yellow belt, green belt and black belt, green belt and black belt, and black belt. Tools that can used in Six Sigma methodology are SIPOC, value stream mapping, fishbone diagram, all of the above. Okay, let's discuss the questions. The first one, 5 stages of Six Sigma methodology are. Dr. Ataya, can you tell us the right answer, please?
Okay, the right answer actually it is define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Like the most that answered are
42%. Yeah, we have good viewers. Okay, the second one, Six Sigma as a philosophy, work to reduce.
As a philosophy, it work as for reducing the variations. Because this was actually tricky questions.
Yeah.
Because if you are talking as all of the above, actually the quality, we are not working to reduce the quality. And Six Sigma as a philosophy working to the main issue that we are working in, we are working to reduce the variation in the process. Directly after we are reducing the variation, we are reducing the cost, we are reducing the waiting time, we are reducing the errors, and actually increasing the quality. So we can say all of the above, and the cost, it is one issue. But in the slide, we are talking in Six Sigma philosophy that we are, the main issue is reducing the variation in the process. So we give the outcome, the same outcome every time.
Thank you, Doctor. For the third question, in lean manufacturing, non-value added defined as, which is the right answer, Doctor?
It is any activity or step that is not required for direct. So it is the last one, as we agree.
65%.
Yes.
Okay, the fourth question, in Six Sigma level, the level that can lead the team is or are?
Actually, can lead the teams is green or black belt. Because as we are talking, yellow belt is sharing in the team, but can't lead the team. So because in yellow belt, we are taking only a small idea about the process and the tools, and we can share in collecting the data and giving ideas about the solutions. But in the green belt and the black belt, we are starting to study the statistical tools and more sophisticated tools in Six Sigma and how we can lead the team in the project. So green belt can lead small projects, black belt leads the project if it is small or large projects.
Thank you, Doctor. The last question, tools that can be used in Six Sigma methodology is or are, which one?
Actually, all of them, it is tools that can be used in Six Sigma. So the answer is all of the above. we talk about SciBook that we are doing in the defined process, and value stream maps and fish bones. We're talking about them in our first examples. So all of this is tools that can be used in Six Sigma methodology.
Thank you, Doctor. Now we have some questions, the attendees. So the first one is from anonymous attendee. It's better to put your name there in the next time, inshallah. He said, as I'm starting oncology medication preparation, what is the most frequently high-risk issue that could be avoided or minimized during preparing for chemotherapy section?
Okay, actually, if we are talking about the preparation of the medications, the first thing you are trying to do, or the high risk issue, it is the contaminations, of course. So you should working in sterile area, and you should know the aseptic technique that is working to prepare the chemotherapy. And the second one, it is the safety for you, because if you are preparing the chemotherapy, we didn't take your safety issues like wearing the gowns, gloves, and working in laminars with correct way, you will be suffering from hazard materials or the hazard of the chemotherapy that can be effect on the employees who are working in the preparation of the chemotherapy. And this is the first issue that we are working we are working in a central area or central room with sterile areas and in the air laminar flow or glove box if you have it.
So you say that we abide by the USP 800. This will decrease the risk for chemotherapy preparation from biological safety cabinets. Yeah, okay. The second question is from Saima. She said, if you can please share from your experience any Six Sigma project that you were being involved in and the results after implementation, as usual, especially if IV chemotherapy also, yeah.
Okay, actually, we are working in a project in our hospital in IV preparation for chemotherapy and supportive medications. We're working in reducing the returns of the medications because in our hospital we are preparing 24-hour doses for our patients, and when you're preparing for 24-hour doses, you are actually can stop the medication for any issues for the patients. If the patient discharged, if the patient changed the plan. So these medications are actually prepared, so it will be returned to the pharmacy. According to the guidelines, if it didn't used during 24 hours, it will be wasted and can't be used again for another patient. So we are working in a project to determine what is the reasons of the returns and how we can use it, and what is the best time can be starting the preparation for the medication to reduce this waste. And actually, after this project, we are reducing our waste from 240,000 Egyptian pound per month to it was actually 120. So we reducing the waste by 50% for that.
Thank you, Doctor. Other question is from Najul. Challenges in implementing Six Sigma.
The biggest challenge in implementation of the Six Sigma is the buy-in of the idea of the change, because the resistance for the change, it is a normal issue for the humans actually. If you are talking about talking for anyone to reduce the way he are working on, he think you need to make it difficult, you need to change me, you need to reduce my cost. The front lines make a resistance for the change. And to go on over this challenge, you need the first thing to buy in the philosophy and the importance of the Six Sigma to the top management. You should take the support of the top management for implementing the Six Sigma. And the second one, you should buy in for the front line, the importance of the Six Sigma, and explain for them what is the importance of the implementation and what is the outcome that can do and how we can the job better for the staff, and sharing them in the teams. As we are saying, the Six Sigma, it is the most important thing in the Six Sigma is the sharing the front line in our teams to share their experience in the problems and the solutions that they do. So after implementing the solution, they reduce the resistance for this change.
Thank you, Doctor. I think the kind of economic impact that Dr. Atiyah also answered about decreasing the money. The other one, what kind of improvement or modification might be done in Six Sigma to maximize its benefit?
What kind of improvement or modification might be done in Six Sigma to maximize its benefits?
Yeah, I don't understand that question.
Okay, if I understand, or we can explain something like, when you are making improvement project with the Six Sigma, if you need to buy in the project, you should change the outcome or make the outcome as a cost or as a money. So something like when I talk about the reducing the waste or the reducing the returns, I change the volume of the waste to the volume of the cost of this waste. So I can buy in the idea of the Six Sigma and maximize the benefits or the maximizing the buy-in the idea for the top management and for our staff. So maybe this is answer solution the question, if I understanding it correctly.
Maybe. The other one, Doctor, it's I think about the certification criteria will be considered to upgrade person from one build to the next build. If there is like courses, certification.
Actually, the certification for Six Sigma in white belt and yellow belt and green belt and the black belt, it is not not upgrading from one to another. You can start from the beginning to study for black belt and take the black belt directly. Actually, you can start studying the materials, and this is something like the board. It is materials that you can study it and start to implement, because in the black belt, in a lot of organizations asking for implement or submitting real project you are sharing on it. In yellow belt and green belt didn't request for submit a project, but actually in all levels you are submitting your project and submit for the exam in the organizations that is certified you. And actually there is a preparing course that is can you take if you are need to help or in studying the material of the course.
Thank you, Doctor. I have a question myself. You said we can use the fishbone diagram in the FEMIA, right?
Yeah.
Can we use the 5 whys with the fishbone diagram in the FEMIA?
Okay, actually in the 5 whys, let's explain first what is 5 whys. 5 whys is when you have a problem, you start to start questions why this problem happens. And actually, when you are saying the first answer, you should question again why this answers happen. So and start every time you have answer, start asking again why this happens. Because when you are thinking in the thing for the first time, actually you can't find the main cause for this problem. And after questions more wise, you can reach the main cause for this problem. So as example, when we are talking about returns again, why there is a return? Because we are preparing 24 hours. And why we are preparing 24 hours doses? Because our staff were working 8 hours per day. So we should prepare the total 24 hours in the same time. And why our staff working 8 hours? Because our area can't work more than this time. So this is the main cause for preparing the returns. And if you are working to solve this issue, and your area can be expand, or you can manage your staff to working more than 8 hours, you can solve the issue. So this is what the tools of 5 whys. And the number 5, it is not a fixed. Actually, it is you ask whys. You can ask 3 whys only, and you can ask 5, 10 whys to reach the main cause for your problem. After making these issues or this answer, you can put it in a fishbone diagrams. And actually, the fishbone diagrams, it is illustrated tools to explain the issue and the reasons, not for find the direct solutions. But in the fishbone, you put all the solutions in the main categories. And after you are putting all the solution or all the reasons that you are find by brainstorming, by using 5 whys, you collect the reasons under categories or main categories, and you can find that the main category issue in the humans, the main category issues in equipments, that in this is a process. So you can determine here that you need to work in the equipment to solve the problems.
Thank you, doctor. The last question I want to ask, in the Italian hospital project, you said you decreased 8,000, I think, LE, Egyptian LE, right?
No,
for stock solution?
800,000 euro to 200,000 euros.
This is only for the stock medications, or did you calculate also the cost of the nursing time, the wastage?
It's only the cost of the inventory that is keeping per week, for example, per week or per month in the area. So because they will have 5 departments. So to make a stock, you put a stock in the department 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So you have 5 different stocks, and you should have the same medication in each area. So when they make a centralized, you need to have one stock for all the hospitals, so they can reduce the cost of the inventory in their hospitals.
Thank you, Dr. Allah. It was a great presentation. Thank you, Dr. Atiyah, for your presentation and time. And I think this will be the end of our webinar today. I hope you all learned something today and benefit from this webinar. Thank you all for attending, and hope to see you in the near future, inshallah.
Okay, I hope if anyone have a questions for next times, or for any need any help, I will be happy to contact if he contact me, and I hope we can join in the next events for talking about specific tools in Six Sigma and how we can implement it in our hospitals, inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Atiyah, and thank you, Dr. Tantawi, for this comprehensive presentation and discussion. I want to mention that the attendance certificate will be sent to you within 2 to 3 weeks through the email you registered with. I also want to announce that all our previous educational series can be found in IVPN website under the library oncology section. I would encourage you, the attendees, to subscribe with the Oncology Listserv to receive our monthly oncology newsletter, the Oncolite, and to be able to share your questions, inquiries, and experience with your colleagues in the oncology field. With this, we came to the end of this event. I want to wish you happy Ramadan and let you know that we will continue part 2, as Dr. Muhammad Atiyah said, of this educational series after the Holy Month. So stay tuned and we will share the date and the time through the listserv and through our social media accounts. Goodbye and have a good night. Thank you.